Good morning to one and all, to our viewers. Myself, Shivang Sharma, and my co-host Sneha Kamalpuria welcomes you to another exciting episode of IT Talks. And we are glad to tell you that it's a silver jubilee. We have 25th episode of IT Talks airing today. And to our honor today with us, we have an professor from our college only, and I have been very lucky that I've been a student under ma'am. So today with us we have Shubhi Agarwal ma'am, Dr. Shubhi Agarwal ma'am. So talking about Dr. Shubhi ma'am, Dr. Shubhi Agarwal is trying her best to bridge the digital divide and India since 2000 in her own creative ways. She has authored 14 books in easy and simple English, uh, in on various topics of computer science for MCA and engineering student of rural area, India. She has done her research on ANN techniques in wind energy and developed a self learning expert system, which is also listed in National Digital Library of India. Her areas of expertise are programming, Hadoop, Python, R, Java, .NET, Oracle, web technology, communication on soft skills, and general management also. To bridge the digital divide in India in January 2021, post-COVID, she has started IT Talks, which is a pan-India IT awareness program. This show is powered by IQAC, Atharva Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai, and that's the current episode on which we are airing right now. Dr. Shubhilal Agarwal is also a recipient of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Lifetime Achievement National Award for teaching, research publications, and a novel on brain drain, Why Outside, Why Not India, written in 2004, and her contribution towards the nation building. She's also enlisted in the top 11 environmentalist of the world by Organic Energy News, United Kingdoms. So first of all, a very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shivang, and thank you, Sneha, for giving such a wonderful explanation. The introduction and highlighting so many points. I really thank you, and I also thank Sneha and Shivang right in the beginning because you have been a wonderful host, both of you, and very responsible, and you have really reached to the level that today we are celebrating the Silver Jubilee episode of IT Talks. So a big thanks to Sneha and Shivang. And then we can start the session.
Thank you so
Thank
much, ma'am,
you.
for that. So moving ahead with today's topic. Today's topic we have is digital carbon footprints and its environmental impact. So, ma'am, digital carbon footprints or carbon footprints in basically is something is a concept wherein not most of the people in India are aware of, and if someone is aware, they are not able to do anything about it. So before moving ahead with the impacts of it on environment and understanding how it is impacting and how we can curb those impacts, first of all, ma'am, I would like request you to please explain us what basically these carbon footprints are. What do you mean by carbon footprints?
Yes. So, Shivang, first of all, we have to understand that when we are operating a computer, there is we are actually eating a lot of energy. It is based on energy. Just think of this session, switch off your electricity, and is it possible? Is it possible to have live Facebook IT talks if we
No,
don't have electricity, right? Which
no, ma'am.
means that when I'm doing something on computer, there is energy associated to it. Okay, there is some kind of electricity which is used, which is consumed. So that is the main thing. Okay, fine, that is one thing. If suppose I am storing something, now there is a very big concept of cloud computing, and everything has shifted on cloud. Okay, we'll come to it that what all things are on cloud. Almost we have migrated to cloud, and we find it a very fancy word. Wow, everything is on cloud. It is so simple. You are just a click away, and those kind of ads we get, all fancy and attractive ads. But now, how those clouds are managing the data. This is also a data. What we are talking, this is also a data, and it is stored somewhere. Definitely, it will be recorded, and it will be stored. And if it is viewed, then again, it will be viewed on the cloud, right? We are not downloading it on our laptops. We'll be viewing online. So this trend where everything has shifted to online, there is some energy which is consumed by the servers and the data centers. Now there are so many servers, so many data centers. Earlier we had our server at our campus. Now we have given everything to the cloud service providers, and they are having their servers. Now when it is a basic thing that when there is a server, there is a coolant associated to it, because to cool the system we have to We need energy over there. We have to cool the system. So how those coolants are working? Again, they are there, they need energy, so there they are eating what? Fossil fuels. So when the fossil fuels are burning, definitely carbon is releasing in the environment. So if we understand that data is going from here to here to here and finally to the cloud, there are the data centers. And the data centers are also not green data centers. They are not green. Green as in they are not powered by wind turbines or solar panels. They are using the fossil fuels as their food to run the servers. So basically, that is what I'm trying to convey today. That it is a very simple science, and I will not call it a science. It is a general knowledge now that we all need to understand because we are consumers. I am on Facebook, I am on Twitter, I am on Instagram, right? Everyone is there. So if I'm there, if I'm posting a picture on social media, or if I'm tweeting, even a tweet has a carbon footprint. Even a social media, if I watch a YouTube video, if I'm watching it, it is associated with a carbon footprint because it is running on the cloud. If I'm watching Netflix, where is Netflix? It is on cloud. So basically, when everything is shifting to cloud, cloud is associated with the driving system, which is again the electricity. So how we are generating, the question boils down to how we are generating our electricity. Is it green? Is it renewable energy based or non-renewable?
mm,
So if I talk about certain numbers, like if we talk about, like I'll be talking some green initiatives which are we call them carbon offset programs done by Google. Because the first thing is that are we aware of it? Do we really know that we are releasing carbon, or we just know that if I have thrown a plastic of a chocolate, then only I'm releasing the carbon? First of all, we have to understand that are we aware of it, that we are releasing so much of carbon in the climate? Or we just think no, it is there is nothing associated to it. It is just a post on social media, so it is there. And then we have likes and we have followers. So if we have likes everywhere, the algorithm is executing. I'll give you a very simple example. Like when I was a child, like you people, we had just internet of 1 hour, so we used to type the mail in MS Word. Then we will connect the internet, we will copy, cut the mail, paste it in the text area, send the mail and disconnect the internet. That is how we used to do. Okay, so I used to take, let's say, 30 seconds of internet. That is how we have used internet. And now what has happened? You open the browser and you start typing. So the moment you see, you all are computer science students. So if you open the browser, the algorithm starts. If it is Gmail, the algorithm starts. So which means
mm,
if even a spam mail, it has 0.02 grams of carbon associated to it. So first of all, we have to understand that what we have to upload on cloud, how much can we upload on cloud, what we should, and that is our responsibility now. Because if we talk of the Paris Agreement and what has happened in the COP26, which is the conference of parties which is happening by UN. So what they have requested us to do, and what exactly we are doing. If we do a comparative analysis, then we will understand that are we really aware of what is happening. Is the problem defined? First
mm,
of all, is the problem defined? Do we know that it is a problem? We'll come to the environmental impact. Definitely, I'm not saying that only internet is the biggest cause. See, if we talk of internet, 3 years, maybe in 2018, when there was no free, unlimited internet. It was not, big data was not flooding on internet. Now it is like 90% of the data has come on cloud in the last 3 years. Why? Because of free internet. We are uploading so many pictures. We on social media also. Even I have uploaded pictures. I talk of 2006 to 8 9. When I was not aware of the carbon footprint. It is only when I started researching on it, and since I am a pure computer science student, and now since I am learning data analytics, I can also apply everything. That what will happen if the situation continues. And it is, I'm not saying something new. It was discussed in 2015 in Paris Agreement. What I'm trying to convey today again to you students, that yes, this is it, and we have to accept. I hope I'm able to convey what
Sure,
is
ma'am.
a carbon footprint.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Even a WhatsApp chat.
Ma'am,
Yes.
yes, ma'am. Even a single little use of technology and internet may lead to release of carbon footprints.
Yes.
So, ma'am, you just mentioned Paris Agreement. So, what is that basically? What are the points which were discussed in the Paris Agreement?
Yeah, see, first of all, Paris Agreement was done in 2015, and it is a very simple agreement wherein there were few nations, 26 nations, they united together. It happened in November 2015, and they came together and they said that we have to limit our temperature to 1.5 C, which means our average global temperature should not increase by 1.5. And it this is due to the fact, okay, why they have said this. Let's take another example. Our what is our normal body temperature in which we are considered healthy, I mean
36
normally.
degrees, 36 degrees Celsius,
Yeah, so see,
36 degrees Celsius, 36, 37.
yeah, so basically, if our temperature is, let's say my temperature is 98, so I'm normal. If my temperature increases to 100, then what happens? I'm uneasy, I feel thirsty, I'm having a little headache. If it increases to 102 degrees, then what happens? I can't stand. So my body starts collapsing. And what happens if it is 105? I'm talking only of our system. I'm not talking of the entire planet. I'm talking of our human body. If it reaches to 105 degrees, then what happens? I have high fever. I'm shivering. I might be hospitalized. It is a very dangerous situation. And if it crosses 106 and 7, you know what happens. Then nothing is there. So similarly, the planet, we need to, pre-industrial level, there was a temperature which was considered 1. Now it, Paris Agreement says that 1, we should not exceed 1.5 as the average global temperature. We should not exceed. The reason is that whatever the temperature is increasing, there will be what I can say, uh, impact on the environment, which will be called as side effects. Definitely, when the temperature is increasing, heat is increasing. First of all, the glaciers will start melting. I don't want to discuss the disasters which happened, but you all know about the Uttarakhand tragedy which happened. Earthquakes in Japan,
Yes,
Malaysia.
yes.
We keep on hearing. Now it has become a daily routine, so we just tune out. Oh, it happens, but it is not like that. Yesterday only I was just trying to figure out the volcano. I got to know that yesterday we had 40 earthquakes all over the planet. Yesterday, I'm talking of 17th December. So this frequency is increasing, and if the temperature will increase, it is 1.5 what Paris Agreement says in COP, which is Conference of Parties, which happened in from 31st November, October till 13th of November, which was a 2 weeks climate summit. It happened in Glasgow, UK. So what they have said, that we try to control ourselves to 1.5. We should not make it make our become so ambitious and economic growth so fast that we cross 2 degrees. Because if 2 degrees, if it crosses 1.5, now I tell you what happens. What will happen if the same parameters, they keep on increasing? What will happen after 1.5? Okay, so there is something called as permafrost. Permafrost will start thawing. Now you will ask me, what is permafrost? Permafrost in the northern hemisphere, 25% of the land is having permafrost. Permafrost is like you have soil, rock, all hard. It is very much like land, and below that, after a particular height, below that you have ice. Okay, so there is land, and below that there is ice. So just imagine, if the temperature will increase, that ice will start melting. That ice will start melting, and on that permafrost there are houses, there is infrastructure, there are roads, people are living. There's so many people who are living over there. I'm talking of the northern hemisphere. I'm not talking of India. Even India is peninsula. We'll talk of India afterwards. So this is what I'm talking of, northern hemisphere. So if the permafrost, I mean, damages, because the if once the ice will melt, it will damage. And this data I'm talking of, the pictures which NASA is taking. Okay, so whatever NASA is taking, in the real time, the images which are taking, they know that how much damage has been done in the northern hemisphere. So it is happening. So this is one thing. Apart from that, if the permafrost will start thawing, methane will start releasing in a quantity on the planet. Methane, which is 20 times more dangerous than carbon. We are talking about digital carbon footprints, but this I'm telling you, and this is not very far. This is what the scientists have predicted. After 2030, you will start listening such kinds of news. It's not very far. After 15 days, we will be having New Year, right? It's not very far. 2030 is very near, but that is what, this is the only generation who is witnessing climate change and who can do something about climate change. And where these are the environmental impacts I'm telling you. In totality, it works. The total energy which is released by the internet nowadays is equal to aviation industry. This much of carbon is released, but the aviation industry is there. We can see, yes, petrol is associated, diesel is associated. Okay, the flight is taking off, so there will be some consumption of fuel. But here, everything is on cloud. And it is a fancy word. Again, I'm saying it is a very fancy word, and we all are enjoying internet. Mobile was a gadget device to communicate, but now it has become a toy to play with all the time. Watching videos, making things viral, liking, trending. Okay, but every piece of digital carbon comes with a baggage of carbon footprint, and that carbon footprint is my carbon footprint. If today we three are doing this talk, it is our carbon footprint which we are releasing in the environment. So first thing, we have to understand that whatever we are, we have to be very responsible now when it comes to social media or digitally. That what we are talking, does it make any sense? Is it really useful to say that, or just be quiet and uh, avoid? I don't want to go in a controversial topic, but Twitter is a place where, I mean, when Twitter was not there, it was so easy. Now it is so difficult to even handle digital media, because everyone will tweet, everyone will try to give his or her opinion, right? And then a lot of confusions, which are other kind of side effects of social media and digital talks. That is a separate issue, but I'm telling you. But is it necessary to jump to a conclusion so quickly? There are systems, there are bodies who are doing their work. There are people who are authorized to do their task. Is it, if something is happening in my country today, is it, should I tweet every day? Even I have a Twitter account, even I have Facebook account, but I have chosen a practice that I nowadays I only share something which is very important, or I find it is useful for the community.
Exactly, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you mentioned that there is this average temperature which has to be mentioned. Like, it's not it is advised. It's not told that you have to maintain this, but it is advised to do that. Uh, so, what are the various things apart from social media? Like, yeah, I understand social media plays a major role in digital carbon footprints. But apart from social media, what are the other things that play a major role in bringing digital carbon footprints or reducing the temperature?
Yeah, definitely. See, fossil fuel is the main. See, first thing is, there has to be a paradigm shift from fossil fuels to renewable energies. Everything is fossil fuel based. We petrol, diesel, we are reliant on those, and for years, it is for years. Why can't we have solar panels everywhere outside India? It is there. Definitely, there it will be a change for people, but we can have a phase by phase change. And even I have seen at so many places, I have seen successfully solar panels are working. So there you are harnessing the sunlight. Sun comes daily and give you so much of electricity. If we start talking about the electricity that we can generate from sun, nothing like it. But then we need to first of all understand that, and first of all, this is the only generation who can understand it, that yes, now there has to be a big no. there are so many industries there are so many industries which are polluting. They are doing, okay, we will restrict ourselves to Google. First of all, I'll really appreciate Sundar Pichai. I will say that they have at least admitted that we are releasing carbon footprints. That is the best thing, because if we know that we are committing a mistake, only then we can correct it. If we will not accept that we are committing a mistake, we will keep on doing it, because we are not aware that we are creating a blunder on the planet. See, computer has become an uncontrolled device now. Is there any upper limit to Google query? Is there any upper limit to Twitter or Facebook? Is there any upper limit to Instagram to create accounts? You can create a number of accounts. And then there is there is a concept that one is verified, rest all are just to enjoy, post anything. Then the people, those who are posting is one thing, and those who are watching, they are even more responsible, because no one understands that every piece of social media post is associated with a carbon footprint. If everything is shifting to cloud, definitely the energy is consumed, and this appetite for fuel is increasing every day. It is increasing, it is not decreasing, and it is increasing at an alarming rate. If we keep the scenario constant and we put the parameters and we predict what will be the temperature, so this is what has been said, that after 2030 we will cross 1.5. And that's what Google has is doing carbon offset programs, and not from today. They are doing this from 2007. They are doing their Google, they are meeting with their carbon offsets. They have realized that yes, we are emitting carbon. But since that is an IT company, they understand that they are, Google is a big player, and everyone is we are also talking in Gmail. So if we cannot think a life without Google, but they have realized, and they have started working on carbon offset programs. Carbon offset program means they are actually working on those projects where they are working on carbon neutral programs, where they are trying to eat that carbon, in simple words, gulp it. That is what they are doing.
Also, there is a comment from Vaibhav Patil sir saying that our society is saving rupee, like the society in which I guess Vaibhav sir is living. He's talking about that particular society where our society is saving rupees 10 lakhs every year because of solar. So basically, I guess their society or the residential area where they live must have installed this solar energy panels, because of which they're also saving money. So also not only from the point of view of environment, but also on the point of view of money also, because if we talk about today's generation or currently what people are thinking, they majorly give more value to money than environment. So if you tell something to them with the perspective of a money, that you will save so much of money, then they might understand that thing pretty easy. Over to you, Sneha.
Ma'am, as you very well explained that how carbon footprints are too much harmful to the environment. But I wanted to ask you, what are the major impact of carbon footprints on human health?
Yes, see, again, see, everything is related to temperature. This is what I'm saying. See, I have been a pure computer science student. Prior to that, I have done chemistry and biology, everything. So, and I was very much interested into understanding what is what. So that is one reason. First of all, you understand that carbon is having a property called as catenation, which is to form huge chains.
Hmm.
Okay, and that carbon will dissolve in 500 years. So everything is temporary in this world except for carbon. Carbon is permanent. One thing. It will decay and it will increase the temperature. That is one more thing. Okay. Now, when the temperature increases at so many places, the ice melts. Okay, so there are so many frozen microbes which are frozen for years, for thousands of years. They will become active. Like, for example, a mosquito. If the temperature will increase, they will take a very long flight, and they will spread dengue and malaria. Okay, if the temperature is less, they are not so active, but the temperature increases, they become very active. So this is I'm talking about the how it will affect the human health. So these are the small things. Even the mosquitoes nowadays, you see the kind of mosquitoes we have. Okay, so that is how things are. These microbes, they will become, once they become, they are the carriers of lot many diseases. They will carry diseases. So that melting of ice, the ice which has started melting, like if we see uh, uh, the British Antarctic survey, from where we have seen a picture that ice of the size of Los Angeles melted. So where that water is going? That water is traveling. That has started traveling. Okay, if Uttarakhand tragedy happens and a glacier melts, okay, so where that water is added to the Ganges, if that water is coming to the coastal areas, okay, so how it will help? See, the salt water will enter into the coastal areas, so it will damage our crops. So everything is interrelated. It is having a ripple effect. Like one thing which we are not controlling, it is having immense effect on so many things. And apart from that, look at, I'm just talking of India now. Look at the map of India. It is peninsula, from three sides it is surrounded by water. I must say that we are fortunate that we have so much of water. We can always have wind turbines and a lot of energy can be generated. So it is, but if on the contrary, if water is coming, sea level is rising. We are also in Mumbai. If the sea level is rising, what will happen? We will also
Yeah.
start pumping sand and reclaim our beaches. What Miami, people of Miami are doing. Miami is doing for so many years. They are pumping the sand, and finally they are reclaiming their beaches. So that is how when it comes to our health, so many things are related. Apart from that, floods. Then when I talk about, let's say, heat, when it is when the temperature increases, the temperature rises at that time also. If we talk of cities like Jaipur, I was in Jaipur, so I can take example. Jaipur used to be 40 degrees in 1980, and now it touches 50 degrees in the summers. So 10 degrees up. So we have to also think of people who are very poor, who do not have houses. How will they survive? So that is what I'm saying. That if we get something as a free product, if it is a, let's say, internet is free for us because we all have packages. Let's not play with the mobile. Let's download. Let's start with some practices. Let's download things on our computer. Switch off the mobile and then read it. Or even you can have some kind of notes. We can come back to books and notes, that the original system we had, and I'm really telling you that was the best way to study and register things and understand. That is how it happened. What Google is doing in the carbon neutral programs is that Google is trying to purchase quality offsets. Now when they are saying quality offset, it means they look for additionality, they check for leakages, they check for permanence and verifiability. That is, when they are investing their money in a carbon neutral program, they are not just giving the money or forgetting. First of all, they check that whether there will be a leakage. Leakage means, suppose um, I'm protecting a particular forest at this location today. Will it happen that the loggers will reach to another area and from there they will chop the trees? Because if that thing happens, that they have at a particular location, they are trying to protect the carbon, but at some other location again the carbon is released. Because when there is forest, see, in the forest area there is lot of carbon, okay, but when the trees
Hmm.
are chopped, that carbon is released into the air. That carbon goes directly into the air. So this is one thing what Google is doing when they are giving money to any of the carbon offset programs. They check that is there any leakage possible. If there is no leakage, then only they will fund that particular project, and they are looking for those projects. Then additionality, that is, they are working on a particular project where no one can do, which is lying like anything, and no one can do it, and it is actually adding in the atmosphere. Like most of the animal farms, they have their methane capture system. But what Google is doing, they are working on a project where there is no methane capture system. So what they will do, they are not even working on carbon, they are working on methane capture system. They are trying to trap methane, because methane is 20 times more dangerous than carbon. So what they are doing, they are working on those projects where they can treat methane, because first they convert methane into carbon and water, and then that carbon is treated separately. And they are also uh, converting methane into gas for vehicles, and also that is how they are recycling the things. That is what I'm saying again, recycle. We have to recycle things as much as we can, because these gases, see, after industrial revolution, if production will be there and fossil fuel is the food to run those systems, definitely we will have gases on the planet. But how to treat those gases, that is a question mark. We are, till now we are learning how to manage people, how to do that. Now they are trying to manage how to manage carbon and methane on the planet, because that is also creating, there are side effects.
Mm-hmm.
And then these side effects are not accountable. Like whose carbon? Carbon can cross boundaries. Whose carbon? I don't know. Is it yours or is it mine? I don't know. Okay, that is one aspect I'm talking. That is the aspect of the cloud. That is, the cloud is releasing the carbon. Now think of India, the population. The population in India, and users of mobile, and how many hours they are playing with their mobile and watching videos. Okay, so when you are watching so many videos and you are playing with your mobile, how many hours you charge your mobile daily? How many hours you charge? So that those many hours when you are charging your mobile, you are actually eating energy, and you are releasing your carbon footprint. Even I am releasing my carbon. I'm not saying that, I'm not denying the fact. Even Bill Gates has written in his book that I'm releasing lot of carbon, and for that I double the amount I'm spending on the projects. The strong, again, the same kind of projects, the projects where methane is involved. And they also look for verifiability, that if that project is audited by a third party, that yes, the carbon which was released in the environment was confiscated. I repeat, they want a third party to cross check, because giving money is one thing, what is happening over there is another thing. So they need a third party that you have to verify. And if the carbon released and the methane released in the environment is actually captured, and then it is permanent also, then it should not be like after 6 months again the same thing starts happening. Then it is a temporary arrangement. Then only they will give money, and they are looking for such projects, and they are really cleaning their area. They are doing a lot of
Yes,
research
ma'am.
where they are
So,
putting their data centers in Pacific Ocean, so that they can have coolant from water. They are taking their data centers near hydroelectric system, generation of energy through hydroelectric, so that they can have the cooling system is based on renewable energy. Yes, Shivang, you were saying something.
yes, ma'am. So basically, ma'am, as you mentioned one point that when you were in 1980s and 19 when you were in Jaipur, so the temperature used to be around 40, and now it has increased to 50. So if we take an average that over the 40 period of time, the temperature has increased 10 degrees Celsius. But at that time, internet was not that frequent. Even if we break down the things after 2014, the things have changed pretty rapidly once the internet became more accessible to each and everyone. So going at by that rate, so if it took 40 years to increase 10 years in that era, I don't think so it will take more than 10 to 15 years to increase more than 10% in this era, ma'am.
Yes, Shivang. So see, again, I'm again reiterating on the same thing, that with the advent of internet, especially free internet, this is happening because of free internet. Something which is free. See, if I don't have water today, I can survive for a day. But if I don't have internet, I cannot survive for the whole day. I'll be actually internet thirsty. I want my Wi-Fi, I want connection, or I'll sit under a tree or somewhere where I can get some kind of internet. So we are so addicted to it now. But again, this today's session is a thought-provoking session where I'm just trying to convey to you that this internet is having a huge side effect. It is giving a huge side effect, and that side effect is not visible. That is not visible. Reason, the neutral programs are happening at the by the IT companies at their data centers, and we are just using it, and we don't know, everything is going into the air. Again, I come back to the same thing. If I'm using a plastic bag, I know that this plastic is my responsibility. This plastic bottle is my responsibility. Okay, if I'm throwing a bottle, this is my responsibility. It's just, if I'm using a straw, it is my responsibility, that because I have purchased plastic is one thing. But when I'm talking on social media, when I'm tweeting and a carbon is associated to it, I'm not aware of it, that there is also a digital carbon footprint which is associated with every action that takes place on social media, YouTube, online meetings, everything, whatever is happening, that is also there. So first of all, we have to be aware of it. And why I'm here today and I'm trying to share the digital carbon footprints and its environmental impact, because this is the time now we have to understand. Because see, climate disasters what are happening are, we all can see. Science is a fact, we all can see, and future we don't know. So what we are discussing today is that we have the data with us. We have seen what has happened in the past. The way we are using, we cannot deny the fact that I'm not using internet. I cannot deny that fact, no one can deny it. And in parallel, I'm also releasing carbon. Okay, so if I say 40
Uh,
years down the line, I was not having internet, I lived in a very pollution free zone, pollution free area. Definitely Rajasthan is a very good state to live. And I'm 45 now, so I have lived a very good and healthy life. But this session is just to make you people aware that these things are happening. The only thing is that we are not talking about it. We don't talk about what is Paris Agreement. We don't talk about what is Conference of Parties which happened in Glasgow. But since we are living on the planet, we are using, we are consumers, we should be aware of it. If we can control, if we can have little bit of discipline in our habits. First of all, we need to have self control on so many things. If so many things which are producing, cosmetic is having so much of uh, I mean pollution, creating, don't forget the amount of digital marketing which is done in parallel for the products. Not just, I'm not just talking about the case of an eyeliner or maybe a lipstick. Also remember the amount of digital marketing which is done in parallel to promote the product. So that factor has also added now. So it is, I mean, it is our duty. I mean, you are the next generation who will be witnessing. I don't want people to witness. That is why I'm here today, to share with you all that at least this is happening, so we should at least understand that what is happening. And this is a science, I'm telling you. I'm the simple question: switch off your electricity, can we have a Facebook live? You know
no,
what,
ma'am.
we are eating fossil fuels. Yes, Neha, you were saying something.
Uh, Ma'am, you briefly mentioned before that there is a program offset, carbon offset program launched by Google. So I would request you to just explain it in detail. What are the other major aspects of this program which is launched by Google, and what are they actually doing in this
Yeah,
case?
it's a very good question, Sneha. Actually, we should understand what Google is doing, and we can take Google as a case for what they are doing. See, first of all, what system they have adopted is that there is a credit system. Like, they have admitted that yes, we release carbon. They have, and they have to admit. They have admitted. So after that, like, there was a huge debate. If we discuss all the research papers, we come to know that the researchers were saying that there was 1 to 7 grams of carbon released for every Google query. Okay, and there are 47,000 queries per second. So that was a huge number. But Google has admitted that we have a zero point 0.2 gram of carbon which we are releasing every query. So what they have done, they have started with a credit system where they are measuring, like, if they are removing, or we can say in simple words, if they are cleaning 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide from the climate, they get one credit. I repeat, if they remove 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide from the climate, from the air, they get 1 credit. Okay, and this 1 credit is actually credited to their account. So they, under their, if they say that we have released so much of carbon in the environment, that is as per their calculations, so they are investing in those projects from where they can clean some carbon. So like if they are throwing carbon at some location, they are cleaning carbon at some other location. That is how they are doing. And there also they have chosen the landfill projects. Then they are also treating the animal farms waste, because the waste of animal farms is creating methane. So they are treating methane. There they have taken directly the methane projects. They take methane, convert that into two products. One is let's say direct carbon, another one is used to for household work, LPG and CNG, whatever they convert and they use for vehicles and household. And the other is converted into carbon, and that carbon is again treated the way carbon is treated. So that is how they are working on very crucial projects where they are trying to clean a major area which could have created a problem. So that is how they have started working, and they on those projects they again check that the projects have permanency, that it is cleaned permanently, there are no leakages. If there is they are protecting a forest, then they ensure that there is no leakage in the vicinity, that some other forest is chopped. Because if the loggers are shifting to another area, they will chop trees from some other location, and then it is all waste. They are verifying it.
No, ma'am. They aren't.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, ma'am,
So basically they are,
as you mentioned,
yeah, I'm saying they are earning
yes, ma'am.
credits for, they are very
Mhm.
honest in their work. They are earning credits, and they are trying to clean their carbon in the environment. But now two things come. I'm giving you a situation. If there is a water flow, I mean, if the water is flowing from, let's say, a bathtub, so will you take a mob and clean the water, or will you switch off the tap first?
App
I
first.
repeat, if, yeah, so you will switch off the tap first, cleaning the water. So they are doing what? They are actually cleaning the water. They're cleaning the water, and they are also, they have plans that by 2030 they will switch totally into renewable energy systems, where they are taking their energy from the renewable energy system, solar or wind energy. They're shifting their data centers. That they are, these people are also working, so they are behaving like responsible citizens. They are providing these services, and accordingly they are also calculating. But so much of information we are dumping on cloud, is this a responsible act, or should we have to first understand what we should upload on cloud and what we should not? Is it really important to upload it or not? We take Facebook, we upload so many pictures because there is no upper limit. Again, I talk about the upper limit. There is no upper limit to it, so we enjoy it. We have started playing on it. Like what Bill Gates says, that as far as your energy is clean, no problem. You enjoy your life. If your energy is clean, it is based on some green energy like wind or solar, no problem, no issues. You enjoy. And definitely we are the developing country, we need a lot of energy because we have so much of population, and we have to feed so many people over here. We cannot deny the fact. And that is why in the conference of parties which happened last month, they have said that there is a provision that a few countries will provide funds to the developing countries to help them. That was also there in the conference. It was decided. So that is how also people are thinking the society. I mean, in totality, if we talk, see, it is the case of our planet now. It is not just the case of your house or my house or your company. It is the case entire. And again, I'm saying carbon has no boundaries. It will cross all the borders, and it is not visible, or even it is not accountable. And scientists are doing their research. They are taking pictures, trying to convey so many things. But are we reading it? Are we trying to understand? See, if I am a computer science person, I am trying to understand what is analytics. It is my duty now to understand what is happening. It is my duty to read all this, and it is my duty to convey this to you all. That is what, if we understand what education is, we understand that why we are studying. Okay, why, what is the science, what is, if we understand what is caffeination, we make a lot of projects to in school to show that how to control pollution and all. But when it comes to implementation, at that time we forget lot many things, because are we able to understand that or not? That's what I always say. When you are studying, enjoy it. Don't try to think what will be an exam and how many marks will I get. Forget it. If you have really lived that 1 hour lecture, you will score superb marks in your exam. That will not be a problem, because you have understood what the concept is.
Sure, ma'am. So, ma'am, as majorly you have explained these things. Also, one thing which you mentioned fewer times is Paris Agreement. So, I would request you to put some light on what basically Paris Agreement means, and what the for what purpose was it proposed.
Yeah, see, actually, what happens? This conference of parties is happening for years. I mean, it is happening for so many years. So Paris Agreement happened in 2015, and that was 21st COP. So for the there were always climate summits which happened, and all the countries were talking. But then, see, when the saturation level starts coming, then you become more active. So in 2015, we got to know that there is a lot of industrial revolution. Then internet also started playing its role. I mean, lot of digital data. So then there was a Paris Agreement that we will keep our average global temperature to 1.5. That was Paris Agreement. Not, we will not exceed that. So after, in on that Paris Agreement, we all are supposed to plan, design something, and think in terms of sustainable architecture or sustainable development. How to have lot of recycled energy, as in through sunlight or through wind, through air, so that we can have some kind of balance on the ecological balance on the planet. Because now what is happening, something called as ecological imbalance is happening. See, you can see if the glaciers are melting and water is uh, the sea level is rising, it is a major problem which has started. And see, it happened in 2015, and at that time we were told that 17 years down the line there will be a major issue. And the major issue cannot be like one fine day it will happen. No, it will start happening every day, but the frequency will increase. If today there is one, tomorrow there will be two, and if the same behavior continues, so basically we have to understand that how much carbon we have to purchase. See, if I'm purchasing a plastic bag, I'm definitely purchasing something which I cannot recycle. If I have a plastic bottle, it is my responsibility to either recycle it or use it till I'm alive on this planet. Or I take my cloth bag and say, you give me things over here. Even I have done a lot of practices. I have stopped using cosmetic. I hardly use cosmetic. Very rarely in a wedding. दो दो साल से कोई शादी भी attend नहीं की. So we have not. I've just stopped using all this because there is so much of plastic associated with it. And look at the amount of. Just always think of the population of our country. We have to be even more controlled now, because it is, again I'm saying, it is, there is an outburst of digital data on the social media and on cloud. Definitely, also every social media is on cloud. So if we now there's a trend. Every festival we are celebrating every day. There are so many days. If not a day, then good morning, good evening. So we all know that one image takes more memory as compared to a text. Look at the websites of IIT Bombay. Their websites, such light portals they have. Only the content, the important information which students need, and few pictures. What are the projects which are coming? If we talk about IRCC, which is their um, research cell, they are only the projects wherever they are getting grants and they are looking for researchers to apply. So such a simple portal they have. We should have things should be simple. If we keep things simple, lightweight algorithms, even researchers are going on, we make lightweight algorithms which eat less energy as compared to some algorithms which take a lot of energy. So that is how we have to, when we talk about websites, we have to make our system so simple that at one location things as information has to be there. We should not go for the fancy things. And this thing we have to see, there is huge digital divide in our country. Again, I repeat the same thing. We are the fortunate people who are having mobiles. We have a lot of data, and then if you go to village and you see how the kids, they have not seen mouse properly, they don't know how to enter, they don't know what is MS Word, how to type. So and one fine day they get a mobile and they start watching videos because it is a very good toy for them. But actually the use of mobile was not to watch a video. Internet was created a place to share information. Now it has become a place to make news.
Hmm.
We have to be very disciplined. When it comes to discipline, we have to be very disciplined. We have to understand that if this is my carbon budget, that is what carbon budget is given to the countries as well. This is my carbon budget, and this is my carbon budget, I will not exceed it. It is very much like pocket money. So if I have watched one video in the morning, I will not watch any other video. So I have to make a priority, this is the only video that I will watch. Or if I have to watch
Hmm.
this 30 times to understand, in that case I will download it.
Download it.
Because if you are watching on your laptop, one energy is which you are using your electricity, and the other is it is on the cloud. So there also you double, there also there is a carbon associated. So
Hmm.
first, that has to come. If I'm designing something, I try to do on my desktop. If I'm creating a presentation, or if I'm reading something, I'll download it, save it, and I'll read it. And sometimes I even take printouts. And even when I take printouts, I ensure that one side is not blank. I mean, it's not blank from both the sides. I take used papers and give that to the person that use it. That is how I try to. I mean, that is a behavior that we need to. If we understand it, in I'm telling you, this generation, if you tell them, you will find a drastic change. They will listen to you. They will understand. But the thing is that first of all, you have to make them aware that yes, this carbon is also releasing in parallel with whatever digital impressions we are giving. This carbon is also releasing in parallel.
Hmm.
Very true, ma'am. And actually, it is very important to set limits to what we are doing on the internet, because nowadays, majorly, even the parents, they to just to calm down their kid, they just hand over YouTube and their mobile, and the kid watches that video for 1 to 2 hours continuously, because they just don't know what actually it is impacting on its health, on the kids health, and on the environment. So it is very important to set limits to what we are doing right now, so that we could prevent what is upon us in the future. Also, ma'am, I have heard this word green server. So can you please explain what that is?
Yeah, Sneha, we are actually talking about green server only. The only thing is I didn't say. See, a server is called a green server when the energy which is feeding that, which is running that server, is a green energy. Like it is a, if server is the energy is coming from any hydroelectric power or a wind turbine, energy is channelized through a wind turbine or through solar panels, then that energy will be called as green energy because it is renewable energy. And if I'm having the electricity connection, that is what Google is doing. They are looking for energy which is from the green sources. So from there they are taking the energy so that their servers are green. So if the server is green, that there is no pollution because there is no carbon associated to it. It is all sunlight. If the solar energy is there, it is sunlight which is producing the energy. Okay, so there is no byproduct to it. And if it is wind energy, then definitely the air is producing the energy. So there is a turbine, so turbine is producing the energy, and that energy is channelized and connected to your server, and then your server is running. So if your particular app is on that cloud, do as much as you want, then there will be no carbon associated to it. That is what Bill Gates is saying, that as far as the energy is clean and green, there is no need to worry. But the worry comes when your energy is associated with fossil fuels. And if we go into the depth of it, that how we are trying to find out, I mean, then you will understand that how the marine life is getting disturbed. We are trying to find out where is oil. So that process is very, I mean, I don't want to discuss it here because our topic is digital carbons. We are talking of digital. That is why this we call it IT awareness program. That we have to give the basic awareness of information IT. That computer is a device to definitely every machine. If you use it if we start misusing it, I will call it misusing it. If it is harming the planet, definitely I'm misusing it. Sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. If I'm not aware of the things, I don't know. So that is why this is IT awareness program, that we are making people aware that even we have to set our limits now. It is very much
Ma'am,
like,
can you give some examples? Yes, ma'am.
no, you please ask, because we have, it's 10:30, so we have to wind up.
Yes. Ma'am, can you give some examples of any existing company or industries that are using green servers, and uh, how much time do you think we will take to, shift to the green servers completely,
See,
according to you?
this is the question which actually all the kids are asking, and this was the question which was asked by our. I mean, there are so many social activists who asked this question in the conference of party which happened. That how much time will you take? This is what was asked by Rita Thunberg. So the answer was by 2030 they have promised that we will shift to green servers. But earlier it was 2025. It was 2025 at the time of Paris Agreement. It happened in 2015, so it was 2025 at that time. But now, since because of pandemic, suddenly something happened, so there was a delay. The system stopped. So now they have promised that by 2030 they will have 100% shift on green servers. So 9 more years we have to be very disciplined. No, I'm not. I'm saying a very wrong thing. We have to be disciplined always, but these 9 more years, 9 years are very crucial now. That is what Paris Agreement says, that 17 years down the line there will be a major catastrophe if the things are going on in the same fashion. That if is, I mean, you have to understand that if there are so many parameters on which we are relying now, and those parameters, first of all, we have to understand, we have to control our habits, and we have to make. You people are computer science students, so you have to. I mean, Shivang can understand this very easily. Even Sneha is trying to learn computers a lot from me. So you have to convey this message down the line that this is happening. This is happening, and this is a fact which is happening. I'll give you all the papers, all the sites, you read, and then you will understand. That is what if we read how many volcanoes erupted yesterday, how many earthquakes were there. If we keep a track of that, like NASA is posting its picture on a regular basis. We get everything. They are doing their job, but are we reading it, or what are we doing on computer? What are we reading on computer? If I'm using internet, what I'm reading actually over here, or if in the villages kids are there, what are they doing on their computer? What content are we reading? हम पढ़ क्या रहे हैं, पहले तो हमें यही
So, ma'am,
समझना है, और हम पढ़ रहे हैं तो हम समझ रहे हैं उसको. समझना बहुत जरूरी. हम आज मैं डेटा एनालिटिक्स पढ़ रही हूँ, तो मैं आज मैं क्यों इतना कॉन्फिडेंस ले रही हूँ कि मैं एनालिटिक्स, I have gone through so many papers, but when I study I'm studying data analytics, I understood, yes, this is it, and this is happening, and take the history data. Just have a look of the history data. I'm not very far. January 21, not very far. Just 1 year. What happened in January 21? Okay, January, February, not much. और अभी कल क्या हुआ? But how many people are aware of it? How many people know it? So this is sometimes called as impulse buying. What we call in marketing is, it is impulse buying. That I want to have this. I want to have one more video. I want to have one more tweet. No, I will tweet. I will tweet. This is a very big issue. But why will I tweet? Why should I speak? If I don't know the in and out of the situation, why should I tweet? Let people work. Twitter is not a place to tweet daily until unless there is a major issue. Likewise, Facebook is not a
Yes, ma'am.
dumping zone to
So
post so many pictures. Definitely, we have to. We all are, and what again? I am repeating the words of Bill Gates that if we have green servers, we have green energy, we have full rights, and developing countries have full rights to I mean, feed their poor people. How will they do it? Switching is not easy, but phase by phase, if we do, and if we are the literate people, we know things, and if we are not talking this, then what is the what is the use of I mean studying? It's
yes, ma'am.
general
So, ma'am,
knowledge. It's more of general.
talking about different agreements and conferences which you tell, there's a current conference called as COP26 at Glasgow, London. I would like to share some knowledge on that. I know we are running out of time, but this question came into mind, so I would request you
Yes,
to put
Shivang,
some light
I'm
on that.
talking of COP. I was talking of COP only. What happened? See, I'll tell you in just two lines what happened in COP. In COP, around 34 countries met. All of them were together. They reiterated the Paris Agreement. They have seen what was promised in Paris Agreement and what actually happened. So they have found out the gaps. And after the gaps, they have given four major things. First thing is they have to work on methane, which already Google is doing. Second is they have to provide finances to those countries which are developing or underdeveloped so that we can treat their pollution as well. This is for the those countries who are financially well off. That is second thing. Third thing is that they have to they need to have a lot of programs, awareness, lot of programs like planting trees and trying to control carbons in other through other ways. Then the fourth one is that we have to switch to the solar energy and the renewable energy. That is from the fossil fuel, we have to switch to solar and wind energy. So, like if we have fuel cars based on petrol and diesel, we need to have a shift on the electric cars. So that is how the industries, basically all the top companies or the top players, they need to have renewable energy systems. They need to fetch electricity from the renewable energy. So they are all the companies who are producing electricity. They need to shift to wind energy systems and solar energy systems, and then they have to generate green energy, and then they have to provide that to the citizens of the country. And for the same, there are a lot of funds which can be provided by other countries which are well financially well off. So that is what they have said, and they have said that this has to be very quick now. You cannot say that we will do it for after another 20 years. No, they have said you have to be. It has to be net zero by 2030. Net zero, carbon net zero, no carbon. But practically it is not possible. So they all have shared that we will not cross 1.5 average global temperature of 1.5. We will not cross that, because if we cross 1.5, then there will be another issue, and that is that methane will start releasing in the on the planet. Methane will release. Then treating methane is 20 times more headache than treating carbon. So it is a very simple, in simple words, if we say, if we study one para, we will come to know what they are trying to convey. We have to cut carbons. One thing, we have to cut carbon emission. That is what I am closing the tap of the bathtub. We have to cut carbons. And second is we have to treat the carbon and methane which is there in the atmosphere. That is, I'm cleaning with the mop. So we have to focus on two things. One is stop releasing the emission, and the second one is clean whatever is there in that. Because and cleaning also you have to take very carefully. See, if if I if I don't just blindly purchase any carbon offset programs, because there are carbon offset programs which will release nitrous oxide. So if nitrous oxide is released, if blindly we are doing just because it is given and we have to do it and we give to someone, if nitrous oxide comes into, then it will create a problem in the ozone layer. So we are basically now we are in a very vicious situation, and there that is why we have to first of all understand that what is happening and how it is happening, and how even internet is playing a major role in creating the increasing the temperature, because the servers are not green. And in
Yes,
parallel,
ma'am. And with the pandemic also, everything has shifted to online.
like
So it has that achieving the 2030 target has become more difficult
difficult.
for everyone now.
Yes, yes. There was a
Yes, ma'am.
Sneha, there was a debate. I'm just intervening in between. There was a debate that in the pandemic, actually, what happened that the combustion of fuel through cars was minimized. So there it was neutralized. So I mean, and during the pandemic, this online mode could not create much of a damage. It could not create much of a damage because the cars were suddenly the cars, because there was a lockdown, so movement was restricted. So that somehow the even the planet healed, even the planet healed. But now since we are back to our normal, we are trying to move also, and we are losing everything, and again production has started. Definitely production has to start, and to for when so many people have to survive, production has to, I mean, go on hand in hand. We cannot have, we cannot stop things. Things need to go. But the only thing is, there has to be a paradigm shift from fossil fuels to renewable. We can say from non-renewable energy to renewable energy. That is the only solution. That is the only solution we can have, because there we have clean energy. If we have clean energy, so there is zero pollution, and that is what net carbon is zero. So again, in the conference of parties, it was agreed that by 2050 we will do it. So 2050 is a pretty long time. 2030 is 9 years. So, and on the contrary, the frequency of climate disasters is increasing. That frequency is increasing every day.
So, ma'am, besides the companies which are taking initiative, what is the Indian government doing to, reduce these carbon footprints and take an initiative towards this cause and towards this topic?
Yeah.
Like after the pandemic, what they have planned to do?
See, Sneha, our government is doing a lot. We'll have a separate session on that, and I will show you all the documents. And actually, our government is trying to do lot many things. But the first thing is that we need to have skilled people who can train our users. So our end users are not able to understand that what it is. So if something new which comes up by the government, it is coming by the government, but we are not able to understand it, and we are not incorporating that into our lifestyle. We take it as for, oh, it is for, I mean, we have to do it. We don't, first of all, we have to understand the science. So the government is trying to do lot many things, but then definitely even we have to help the government. Help in a sense that if supposingly I am a faculty over here, or maybe you are a student, it is our responsibility to first tell everyone that this is what is happening, this is the government is trying to do. Because now what this digital India, it is not easy to handle. First of all, there is so much of population in our country, and again there is huge digital divide, that there are so many people who are unaware of the things. So government is trying to do their task, and there are so many programs what they are doing, but how many people are benefited out of that? That is the question now. I think we can wind up
Sure,
the
ma'am. So,
session
ma'am,
because we have one more event lined up.
yes, ma'am. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That Sneha, you can please proceed with the vote of thanks.
Sure. Thank you, Shivang. Firstly, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Shubhi Agarwal, for taking out time from her busy schedule and providing us with this amazing and very informative session. I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to Sri Sunil Rane, Executive President, Atharva Group, for providing us various platforms like these for interaction. Miss Varsha Rane, ma'am, Miss Pallavi Rane, Trustee, Atharva Group, Dr. R.G. Ratnawat, Director, AIMS, for giving us such a great platform to interact with people and help enhance our knowledge, and also guiding us in all the events and giving his knowledge to bring the best from us. Dr. Shubhilal Agarwal, again, Director, IQAC, AIMS, for connecting us to intellectual capital across the globe and helping us gain so much of knowledge. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the torch bearers, our student coordinators, Mr. Piyush Chaudhary for designing flyers and helping in digital marketing, and Mr. Shivang Sharma for coordinating and hosting the show. Without their help and support, this event wouldn't have been possible. Their hard work and willingness to give one and all a pleasant experience has made this program a grand success. We wish to see you all in the next episode of IT Talks with the same enthusiasm. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Sneha and Shivang.
Thank
I
you so
also
much, ma'am.
want to thank few people. First of all, I want to thank Rani sir for giving us such a great platform. He has always been a person who says that you do things, try to do things in innovative way, and try to bring some kind of discipline in the country. That is what I really appreciate and I really enjoy in the campus. That he always talks about discipline, and for that he has done huge CSR events, which I've witnessed in the past for 3 consecutive years, and where they try to convey simple things like how to be disciplined in the life with the help of certain stories of soldiers. So that for that I really appreciate and thank Raneswar for that brilliant CSR event which we have done. I was a proud volunteer of that. Apart from that, I will thank Dr. Ratnawat sir because he has always given us a lot of freedom and lot of in lot many ways he tried to give us a lot of keywords to understand what is it and what to read, what not to read, and that is how he tries to, I mean, direct you to the right, take you to the right direction. So that's what I'm trying to convey. And then definitely I will thank Sneha, Shivang, and Piyush. All three of them have been a great help for this show because both of them have come forward or directly and saying that we will host this show, and they are really doing it so well. And apart from that, I will thank Mansi Mahatre also, who is doing so much of, who is trying to convey to reach everyone about this show and trying to convey. I really thank because she's a silent worker who is doing her job and just enjoys. So I really thank. And apart from that, there's one very beautiful human being, I can say, Pallavi Rane ma'am. She's there in our campus, and she's very bright and she's very inquisitive. I really enjoy working with her. And definitely Varsha ma'am, who is always inspiring me on a daily basis that how to think in the right direction and what to do and what not to do. So these are certain people in my life who have really lifted me, and I mean they try to put me in the right direction so that we can bring some fruitful day. At the end of the day, we can enjoy that yes, we have done something very informative and valuable. So that's all from my side.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
ma'am.
much, ma'am.